Hey y'all, this is Church from Church's Intake. So we're going to talk about the family and the family secrets. So let's get into it. We ain't going to hold back. You know what I mean? Devil's got to be stopped by all means necessary. So I'm going to read a couple passages so you guys know that this isn't cap or this is definitely real. This goes on in everyday life. The way that the Lord explained it to me. I am not the only one that has to go through this. There's other people in this world, other chosen ones in this world that have to definitely do some research. That's why God makes you go through isolation periods so you can find out who you are and not who someone says you are. All right, so let's go into the first passage. It's going to come out of the other 54 books of the Bible that, you know, a lot of people don't want you to know about these books. So I'm coming out of the book of Revelation of Elijah. Actually, Elijah and Enoch will be the two witnesses that will be going up against the lawless one at the end. But this is a portion of it I want to share with you guys. The word of the Lord came to me, saying, Son of man, say to this people, why do you add sins to your sins and anger the Lord God who created you? Adding sins to their sins. Witchcraft, sorcery, divination. You know, some of these diabolicals want to destiny swap you. Yeah, it's craziness. And God knew all about it. And he wrote it all before. This is nothing new under the sun. This is just being reborn again. And we're reintroducing it. Because people will, he says, my people perish for lack of knowledge. And this is the knowledge that most of these karmics, you know, these people that's operating in this devil energy don't want you to know about the spiritual factor of these things. Because once you know spirits and how they manifest and how you can operate, you know, like that evil eye stuff, you know, stuff like that, you can start to see it like a narcissistic person. You can see it's an envious, a jealous type of person. It doesn't even have to be that person. Like, take the name, take the face away from them. Just know the character of that spirit, and then you will be more equipped to handle these things in your life. So let's go to another passage. This passage comes from Luke chapter 12. We're going to go 49 to about 53. I come to send fire on the earth, and what will I if I be already kindled? But I have baptized, I have a baptism to the baptized, my fault, y'all, with, and how am I straitened it till it be accomplished? Suppose ye that I am come to give peace on earth. I tell you, nay, but rather division. For from hereforth there shall be 5 in one house, divided, 3 against 2, and 2 against 3. The father shall be divided against his son, and the son against his father, the mother against the daughter, and the daughter against the mother, the mother-in-law against the daughter-in-law, and the daughter-in-law against the mother-in-law. So, that being said right there, everybody's thinking Jesus has come here to, when he comes back, he's coming back to bring peace. He is here right now with his people, and he is not coming to bring peace. He is definitely coming to bring that sword. And guess what? We're going to read one more passage before I get into my testimony. All right. So we're going to go in Matthew chapter 10, verse 34 through 37. Think not that I come to send peace on the earth. I came not to send peace, but a sword. For I come to set a man at variance against his father, and the daughter against her mother, and the daughter-in-law against the mother-in-law. And a man's foes shall be thy of his own household. He that loveth father or mother more than me is not worthy of me. And he that loveth son or daughter more than me is not worthy of me. And he that taketh not his cross and followeth after me is not worthy of me. God bless the reading of his word. So, a lot of people in the body of Christ, they don't want to get to that part. They like to skip past what God is trying to do right now when he's trying to bring in this new earth. They don't want to take up their cross, and they don't want to go through what they need to go through to follow God. Even when Jesus, back in another chapter of Luke, the people said to Jesus, "Oh, your mother and your brother, they looking for you. They want you at the door." And Jesus said to them, "If you don't do the will of my Father, they're not my mother or my brother. Whoever does the will of my Father is my mother, my brother, my friend, my family," more or less. So let me tell you about a little bit of my so-called family. So my family, I was put in my family by God. Now, mind you, I've always had a relationship with God. He's always been with me. He's always guided me through everything I've done in my whole life. Well, when I was younger, I also told God I wanted to, take my time. I wanted to be a kid. So God allowed me to be a kid. Now, I grew up in the faith. I grew up as a Pentecostal apostolic or whatever. So my whole family was brought up in the church. What I didn't know about the family was a couple things. I didn't know that the whole family, definitely on my mother's side, there's a whole bunch of witches and warlocks. Now, I didn't know about this because I wasn't studying before until God started waking me up to things and started grooming me about spiritual warfare, about, witches and warlocks and such things. So as he was grooming me, obviously my eyes started opening up about these different things. Now, mind you, in my case, there's about 3 main diabolicals and one that's another diabolical, but not such a main. It's more like he was bewitched, but became diabolical because of the bewitching and allowance and knowing he was also a seer before. But God definitely takes the gifts. When you don't use the gifts in the right way, he'll take them away. My main diabolical is my ex. That's the main character, one of the main characters. My mother is another character. This is the secret. This is the family. So everyone in my community that I was raised up in, I'm assuming, because God told me, the majority of these people know the secret. I was the only one that wasn't in the secret because I'm not a diabolical. I don't fight up against people. I made it. I did the work myself. I work hard. I'm a hard worker. Now, these folks, I thought they were. I used to pray for these folks. I used to pray for my brother to be a pastor. He became a pastor. Before that, my brother used to be a knucklehead. He used to be in and out of jail. And I felt as though if he did find Christ, that would make him a better person. my understanding, me thinking I can help the boy, pray for the boy. My other so-called brother, he was an armor guard, he was in the church. So I thought, but he really wasn't in it for God, obviously. But he was saved at a young age, so I assumed. And I used to pray for him to be a cop. Became a cop, Used to pray for the family all the time. Until God told me, and I was walking in my purpose. As soon as I started my purpose, things have changed. It was like God started showing me different people, because when you're in training, like how David put you in training or whatever, or God put you in training like he did David, it's like you go up against other foes. Like you don't really go up against the family, because you thinking your family is supposed to support you and have your back by all means necessary. Like they will never do you wrong, but the book says otherwise. And that's what we need to start going on, spirit and in truth. Not about what we think, because us as human beings, we don't know what really goes on like God knows in the spiritual sense of things. So we go on. God starts to work on me. I open up a business. So I got other people, and God's like telling me like, yo, D, I'm getting ready. All right, me and God's got a relationship. You know what I mean? Like that's my dude, and I call him G-Man. That's my man. He knows what it is, and he lets that slide for me. That's how me and him, operate. That's my G-Man. You know what I'm saying? So that's my guy. So at the end of the day, G-Man telling me like, yo, you're about to start going into your purpose, and it's not going to be so easy. Like mad people coming up against you, dotty 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 da. He telling me through other people, other women of God, men of God. He would also talk to me. I pray, but he would use like people of God on YouTube and such stuff like that. God gets his information to me so many different ways. He uses people off even YouTube. Even I'll tell you this, a lot of people on YouTube even know my story right now, because God is exposing it right now as we speak to others on the tube throughout the air. And this is a fact. Like this ain't no cap. So, and then it's like I see things, and it's like, yeah, bits and pieces of my story, because God obviously is exposing it all. So he's just letting it out. You like, D, if you say it or not, it's still gonna be out. So it's like best for me to even come to the land, see who y'all talking about, who God's talking about. I'm one of them, and I'm not the only one, but I am definitely one of them, right? So he's like, you got mad people coming up against you. All right, G-Man, as long as you with me, we good. I don't care about none of these things. Like, they can't see us. If they don't believe, we gonna make believers out of non-believers. This is what we do. So when it first started, obviously I got a job, and I started, working and building this liquor depot store, and then I had to hire up a crew. I even had people that I already knew, like co-workers that I knew from before. I used to work in a union with electrical dudes. So I had these guys with me, and God was like, at first everything was peachy creamy, and then God was like, yo, I'm about to turn it up a little bit. And he was like, yo, them people that's with you, they ain't really with you. You know what I mean? You need to put your foot down. And he would tell me everything that I needed to do to get this one job. Like, it was a building, you know what I mean? And they was starting to get a little funny, because when you're in your purpose, people don't want you to be in your purpose. Like, just like God wants you to be, you're his, and you're in the purpose for him. There's other people out here that's on the devil's team, and they're in purpose for him. So their job objective is to stop, block, destroy, and however they can get you up out of here, extinguish you, you know what I'm saying? So he had me work through that. So obviously he had me in that pit because he wanted me to learn a few different things. And when I was in that pit, I learned a lot. I learned the biggest thing And we don't talk about this a lot. Like, it's talked about a lot more now because God is exposing. Like I said, he's exposing. He's going to keep on exposing. A narcissistic person, I didn't know what a narcissistic person was until I was dealing with them. And I actually worked with one bull for a while, but it was like, if I wasn't in my purpose and I wasn't really caring about, because my God was like, yo, you so nonchalant, you don't be caring, you don't be seeing like people trying to, I'm like, you got me covered. He's like, nah, I need you to start doing this work for me. Like, I need you to start seeing. And the more he would show me, the more my eyes would start to open. Like, my eyes are so open now. Like, no one can just like hit me with the floozy. Like, I can see these spirits all day, every day. Like, they know I know. You know what I mean? And it's not even like no cap no more. It's like, yo, you this. Or we don't even got to talk. And I just move how I need to move around these certain type of entities, because that's what they are. A narcissistic person has a demonic entity that's within them. And it's caused from childhood traumas and hurt from previous relationships that they never healed from. This is how they manifest. This is how they'll let the spirit come within them, because they'll be upset, mad, and whatever. So he showed me these things, right? And then he would be like, yo, D, I want you to learn them, but obviously I'm gonna keep you protected. And then this bull that was working with me, I'm telling you, like, he was trying any and everything to try to like stop the process. And I knew he was warring up against me. He would ask me certain dates and he would write it down. Like, and I just started peeping game. Like, this is what these narcissists do. They try to write down. They want to know your every move so they can go to a sorcerer, or they can try to even do it themselves, you know what I mean? Doing divination spells, causing witchcraft. So at first he was trying to do spells, and that wasn't working. We already knew what type of time it was. I ain't beat, you know what I mean? I know how to pray. I'm a warrior, so this is what I do. So the spells thing. So, but then it started to click. I'm like thinking, why did this boy always want to know a certain date for something, like the accomplishment date for this or the accomplishment date for that? So I started giving him fake dates, something out of the ordinary, so I could throw him off to see how he really wanted. And then it would make him mad, you know what I mean? Because, you know, I'm gonna beat the devil at his game at all toss every time. So I started making the boy mad because he was thinking that those dates was the dates, and they weren't. And then that's when I had to let him know. And then this was the last straw, that he was so done with like doing the witchcraft and sorcery that the boy wanted to try to take me out, but he didn't want to be exposed by taking me out. So he tried to like hot wire a line that was going inside the building, you know, had it turned on. We knew that them Jones should have been off. It was only me and him. And then I was working in there that one day, so I knew. And this is why I also peeped it, that he was thinking like, I don't always use my tester to test things, but I mean, I'm very safe though. But I started noticing, I'm like, we're rerunning new lines and everything, but we shouldn't really have to need a tester for everything. But I started noticing he started using a tester towards the end, because he knew for a fact that he tried to bamboozle me. He set me up to be like, yo, he gonna hit this, he gonna get electrocuted and die or something, right? So he would use his meter every time to test the outlets and such. And I'm thinking to myself, like, these are new sockets. We ain't even run the main feeds like that, and we got them all off. Like, why would he do that? No one else in the building, just me and him. It's my building right now, you know what I mean? I ain't letting people in the building to touch stuff. But that's how I knew. So then I had to let him go. And then he was all upset and tight. And I really didn't have to explain it to him. I was just like, yo, God told me to let you go, bro. Like, your time is up. I'm good. We don't need to work ever again. And I didn't give him no real information on why. But he was just like, yo, what you mean God said? I was just like, yo, God told me all about you. And he did. He just told me about him. He watched me. He let me watch him while we was in that pit. See, God keep me in them pits. Like, some of us have to go through these storms, and we can't be weak. You got to be strong inside of these pits sometimes, you know what I mean? Because God's raising you up to be a strong warrior, right? So I go through that. I go through the, argument with the boy. I'm like, yo, man, I ain't gonna put hands on you or nothing, man. And he was a nice dude, like, but he was the covert narc. And that's how I learned how covert narc was, I mean? Friendly, they trill, you know what I mean? But they frail bodies, a lot of them, for the most part that I know of. They frail body people. They look nice, they talk nice, they even act nice, but they the ones, those the ones right there, the ones that look nice, talk nice, act nice, say they God, they love God. Those are the main top leaders of this witch warlock system. I'm telling you, and they in the church crazy, right? So I'm gonna tell you about the secret. So the secret is that I found out, and God already was on it. Like, he was like telling me, like, yo, D, you got another. He's like, you got more people, more enemies in your camp. He's like, they're not as diabolical as, ones that you've been messing with. Like the dudes I was messing with. The dude that I was working with, he was one, but I had a couple of them. I had this other Spanish dude, they be worshiping Buddha on a Lilo. Don't think I know and stuff, but I knew him, And the other bull that I was working with, who was the, the owner or whatever, he worships Krishna. Now, these other diabolical witches and warlocks that I'm about to tell y'all about, ain't got no nothing to them. And if they was to ever have to see them on some diabolical like they do, they will finish them. But I can destroy them, so it doesn't matter. So, but God was like, you got more enemies than you can. And he was like, more or less, this might hurt you more, but they're not nowhere as thorough as the others. And I was like, okay, who are these people? He's like, yo, D, I need you to isolate. I need you to cut everybody off. I cut everybody off. When he said cut everybody, I cut everybody off. My wife, he even put me and my wife up against each other. Not like, at first I thought like maybe my wife could even be like, I go hard for God. So it was like, yo, God, I'll even give up. I'll give up whoever for you, my boy. Like, tell me. And they're gone. So me and my wife, we was in the same house, but we was like, I was keeping to myself, and we was actually going through a lot of turmoil, but God was actually using both of us, as an isolation to figure some things out. So we was both in isolation together. So, and that's how I found out that my wife wasn't these diabolicals. So that being said, me and my wife went through, God started showing me things. He was like, so I was still going to my people's crib, my mom's and them. And then I noticed that before I moved into my house, because I got a new house, before I moved into my house, my brother and his wife had moved back. They had lost their house, right? Now, I would never go back to my parents' house if I had a whole family. Like, what is this? And you're supposed to be the man of God, and you and your wife, whatever. But I knew what it was. Like, that right there let me know they failed a test from God. I knew it. It was a test that they were supposed to take. They failed. I ended up taking that test. I passed that test. We'll talk about that test in another day, on another note. But I need to get these ones out of here. So we're going to talk about them right now. So they failed this test. And like I said, my brother was a seer. I used to actually go to his church a couple times until I started seeing him start to change his speech and his ways and stuff. Like using the seeing portion that he had, to be able to see in, the future or whatever, and started using it and to manipulate. It was just like I started noticing the manipulation. Like, he started talking about things in my life, and I'm like, bruh, I ain't gonna tell you, but I know you, my boy. I know you. Like, you capping right now, but I'm gonna let you ride. So I let him ride. I stopped going to all his type of churches and stuff like that. But my brother never healed from his childhood traumas from my father. Because even when, that was coming up, like, he always had resentment. And to be a man of God, to have your dad in a wheelchair, and to have your kids talking filthy, you and your wife having your kids talking filthy to their grandfather, is very disrespectful. That's why they say know them by their fruit, because the fruits that they bear is evil fruit. That's evil fruit. And my daughter used to be around it too. And then it was a no, you don't do what they do. They do what they do. That's them. So my brother was a seer, but he forgot to tell me one thing. And they always got to tell you that the devil has to tell you. So he was like, yo, you're going to be rich. What you mean? What, God showed you? Yeah, God showed me. But he was pissed. He was more pissed than anything when he said that to me. So I already knew that there was something up with him saying that, right? But I just kept it in the back of the head. Another thing was, I never liked his wife like that. I respected his wife because of him. But I never had respect for his wife because I just knew she was diabolical. She made the boy crash, you know what I mean? She bewitched the boy, like, in these love spell things. Now that I know, she definitely bewitched the boy into spells and casting spells on him since they've been together. Once the boy wake up, they'll probably get divorced and everything else like that. If not, it is what it is, but that's here nor there, right? The thing is, the family secret was that they didn't want me to grow. They didn't want me to keep on going on my purpose. That's why they was trying to block me, stagnate me, doing spells, um, causing chaos, using former friends of mine, you know what I mean? Like, but I ixnay everybody. So it's like, you can use whoever. I don't care. I don't need none of them. Like, I'm good by myself. Like, I'm a made man. I made it on my own without y'all. Like, y'all didn't pay for my wedding. None of that. Y'all ain't pay for my house. Y'all ain't help me with nothing. So I'm good. Like, I can do it without. I don't need friends like that. But that also being said, God was like, those. And then he started having me look into the book. And that's why I read those scriptures, because that's when I was like, yo, your biggest enemies is people in your own household. And I was like, for real? G was like, yeah. So when I was a kid, one of my biggest enemies was my mother, which is not my mother. This is the secret. That's my stepmom or something like that. I was adopted, or in that aspect. That's not my true brothers. That's not my mother. Like, God let me know that. That's definitely not my mother, for sure. Like, but that was I don't say bewitched, but there were spells cast on me since I was a kid. And this stuff is starting to come out now. And they can't stop it. They want to try to stop me. Like, and then when I guess it was going on when I was younger, it couldn't stop me because God got me covered, right? I was placed in this family, like I said. And this family, I'm going to call her a stepmom from now on. My stepmother also had a lot of foster kids in her house. And I'm 8 years younger than my two supposed brothers. It don't add up. And if we was to take a blood test, I'm pretty sure it's not, because God already told me. We already know this. So at the end of the day, they stole my inheritance from me. But the thing is, I didn't care for the inheritance like that because it was always kept from me. So it's like, if you don't have something, what would I care? But God made that for me using, grandparents and people to bless me, when I got older. I ain't getting out a dime of this. As I was a kid, I used to have to go through all these tests. And then God mentioned this ASA. That's, I guess, it's a program for like special needs kids, right? I'm not a special needs kid. Like, when I was a kid and they used to take me to these, I'd be in a regular class and then they would take me downstairs to like the specials class for like a period to do tests. And then obviously I would pass all these tests and I'd be like, yo, why am I here? Like, I'm not like those kids like that. And I wouldn't disrespect the kids, but I'm like, yo, I'm not slow or anything. What are y'all doing? And then I used to say this to my stepmom, like, yo, why are they testing me? But she was the main culprit, doing spells and casting spells and illusions on me my whole life for a portion of time. And I guess she stopped for a little while because God was on her top. Now, mind you, when I was a kid and I grew up in this house was a bummy house. So obviously, God had favor on me since then. I seen this house go from nothing to trash, like a whole bunch of garbage trucks, cars, and stuff in the backyard, to being a nice crib. Mom's getting blessed with, or stepmom's getting blessed with a nice job working for the state. Yeah, state worker. So you know this is in the States as well. So my pops getting extra money, you know what I mean? They doing all right. So I see the house growing and everything, right? I used to pray for these things. Like, I seen it, I watched it manifest, it growing up, and then we always was good after that. But my brothers, you know what I mean? I put it to you like this: like, they all knew the secret except me. My supposed brother that I helped, you know, become the pastor, he knew about this secret. He was actually supposed to be the one to tell me. He was supposed to help your boy, because he knew that the rest of the family wasn't going to help and help save me and tell me the truth about who my real family was. Who am I? You know what I'm saying? So he kept it. And then they transitioned to using, not only that, once he found out like how deep it was, he was a coward because he was supposed to help, but he wanted my position. But you scared to come up against your own mammy. That's crazy to me, you know what I'm saying? So you ain't come up against your own mama, but you want to be a person that could take down witches and warlocks, and you scared of the same witches and warlocks? Bro, sit down somewhere, my nigga. Like, it ain't even fathomable for you to even talk about something that you so scared of. So he was a person that could see. So he was actually able to see that I was going to be rich. Now his wife, that's another one. That's the number 2 diabolical. My stepmom's number 1. She started this, trying to cast spells. Her and her brother, my uncle, right? Those are the number 1s. The number 2 is this one diabolical goofy that thinks they can destiny swap with someone, not knowing that it's impossible. You dumb, ignorant fool. Like, his wife, the most diabolical nigga. So I already knew, I'm sorry for saying the N-word, I already knew that me and this one was oil and vinegar from the start. I never liked her like that. I just put up with her. But she's been behind the scenes causing all this havoc. But the havoc that she was causing, maybe for a period of time, it was working. Not to the extent that they thought it was working. It was working to the extent for them to get exposed that these diabolicals wanted to destiny swap with me. And she used, and my brother, for instance, I'm just saying, like, the boy, you're a coward, dog. Like, to let your own wife take control, lead Jezebel, you know what I mean? This lead Jezebel take control of you like that, dog, and let you try to destroy your whole family. So my stepmom's side of the family, that's not even my family. That's a fact, you know what I'm saying? Like, they ain't my cousins. So them people been warring up against me for whatever, trying to keep me blinded, not let me wake up. That stuff don't work, because I was never officially blinded by any of this stuff. I was on autopilot because I asked the Lord to let me live a little. And then he was just like, nah, not anymore. I need you to come up now, because they trying some stupid stuff. They trying to get you to be the scapegoat, because they out here manipulating others. They out here squandering money. They out here trying to cause havoc. They out here trying to get you killed. They want you to be a scapegoat for some killings that they possibly doing and everything. All these things will be exposed. Y'all will be in jail. I'm going to let y'all know that early. And all of that paperwork that's coming that y'all be trying to burn up and everything, that's coming out. God's going to expose everything. So that being said, we're going to keep on going. So at the end of the day, my brother's wife ends up thinking that this is how they was going to destiny swap, using my ex-fiance. I never married this person, but I was willing to marry her because she had my daughter. I was willing. And I was going to let God do what God do, because I didn't believe in, separation of, mother and father like that. Like they need to be together so they can build. So this diabolical demon, which is my brother's wife, using sorcery, witchcraft, or whatever to think up a scheme that they could destiny swap with me by her going into a false marriage. You heard me. False marriage, documented. It's on documentation that they marry in my name. Yeah, it don't make sense, but it's true. So they're muff diving each other. Yeah, they're gay. They're doing gay things. Yeah, it's exposed. And my ex wanted to do this because she wanted to try to take me out. She was hired as a hitman to poison me and try to take me out. Oh, and also the stepmother and my brother's wife be doing that poisoning of the foods as well. Don't eat their stuff. So at the end of the day, she signed up because she thought her thing to the devil was to be rich and famous. The only thing you're going to get famous being a diabolical demon. And everyone will know that you're a demon and you need to repent so God can possibly save you. And if you don't, you're going straight to hell. So this one, when they had signed this one up, which would be the number one, because that's the one that's out here trying to cause all the havoc as we speak right now, causing hitmen to come after and trying to cause, because this one is like suppose it used to be like a manifester, hard work manifester, thinking that she was like whatever, and she was lying, and they was lying to her about like how it's all going to be peachy creamy. They're going to get away with this diabolical taking of the money, inheritance, and all of this stupidness. They took the money, but that was the straw that God had used them to expose them. You can't make these things up. So you already know that these are reprobated people. These people are possessed by demons. Like my ex is possessed by demons. My mother-in-law, my stepmother is possessed by demons, and both my brothers and they wives. But they wives is Jezebels. This Jezebel convinced my brother to telling him all about my story, and they had all of these witches and warlocks coming up against me, but all for naught, because God's got me covered. And it's all to the glory of God that he moved me away from them when he did, because what they doing right now is they're trying to get away to try to come in, and they won't, because I'm covered. They tried to use friends of mine, foes of mine, to try to come at me, but only thing that they're doing is hurting themselves. So now that I know that, they sleeping around with each other, doing orgies and stuff, and they in a secret society. I know y'all the name of it too. I don't need to go in on y'all like that, because I'm gonna let the law handle y'all. I'm gonna let God handle y'all with righteous judgment. I ain't gonna give too much out, because I don't need to really give anything out. All I just need to do is release y'all. They was churchgoers. So the one that wanted the destiny swap, which is my brother's wife, they in the church right now. She over here thinking like, oh, she got hit with karma. That's why she's got cancer. My mom's stepmother got hit with a cancer. That's why you in the position you in, because y'all stole from me. Y'all been doing diabolical things to a lot of other people. I'm just the one that's strong enough to talk about y'all. I'm the one that here to expose y'all and get rid of y'all like y'all need to be. Even though y'all think y'all tough, you know what I mean? My stepmom's sons think they tough, but they about to find out who's really tough. I'm the tough one to y'all, because I'm your judge. And y'all about to go spend these years in the penitentiary. You know what I'm saying? Like, you reap what you sow. If you've been sowing bad fruit, causing havoc on the God's people, you're going straight to hell. That's just it. It's a fact. It's nothing I can do for y'all. Y'all lost y'all shot. I was with y'all for years. Actually, God was going to hold some things back from me if y'all just been honest. And he knows me. And he knows I'm a good person. I would have actually shared my wealth with y'all. But since y'all didn't want to give me nothing, since y'all wanted to try to use my kid to come up against me, all gloves is off. Yes, they try to use my kid. My ex tries to tell her supposed ex-boyfriend now, because when you doing these deviation spells and casting all these things and you want my marriage to fail, you'll never have a marriage. You'll never be in a relationship. They will keep on using you like a hoe. They will keep on jumping ship on you because you thought you can cast these diabolical spells on a person that can't get spelled on. And I ain't the one that cast these spells back to you. I just send them back to sender. But God is the one that put that judgment on you. God is the one that made you that way. God is the one that's got you going the way you going. That's why you got a disease. Yes, my ex got a disease, sexually transmitted, but it's from God. That's why. God can take these diseases away. I'm not here to help you no more. You gave your shot up. You wanted to take me out. You was hired to be a hitman. So, you know what I mean? You laid in your bed. Now face the facts. Face all this stuff. Face the karma. You wanted to be famous, you're gonna be famous. Just as an enemy. You're just gonna be a famous enemy. You know what I'm saying? And my brother taking the money, like, and this is all out in the open. Like, God used me before I separated completely from him. I went to they have a campsite that they're buying these new RVs and such. Now, mind you, none of y'all make over 100,000 like that. Like, maybe y'all was if you work a lot of overtime, but y'all don't even make 100K. I'd make over 100K. They don't make 100K. Even if you combine all of these things together, the money just wasn't adding up for the cars and the vans, and everybody's got all these new G rides and such. You know what I mean? Everybody's buying new RVs and such, and then you putting the extensions on old houses and rebuilding a house. Like, it's a lot of money. Where are you getting that money from? So it's not fake. God ain't lying to me. So where were you guys getting this money from? The law enforcement is gonna find out where y'all was getting this money from. The law enforcement know. And the law enforcement know about some other things. So as I was talking, they was trying to come at my kid, right? My ex with her boyfriend that she was supposedly thought she was gonna marry. They thought they was gonna destiny swap my marriage to be their big marriage. Like, these people are crazy, man. I'm telling you, people are sick in this world right now. Like, this doesn't all make sense yet, but when it starts to come out, because this will be on air, trust me, this will be broadcasted, y'all. But she was trying to tell my daughter that her boyfriend was a better father figure than her own daddy. My daughter was dang near laughing at this fool. Like, she said she didn't want to say nothing. My daughter was 10 at the time. She said she didn't want to say nothing about this. Dang, laughing at this fool. You know she gotta laugh at that. To try to use my daughter, knowing I'm a better father than you are a mother. And this is how I can prove that. When me and my ex was splitting up, I told my ex, there's nothing that I will never do for my daughter. You know, I'm going to always be in my daughter's life. You know, we can do this 50-50. And she was all cool with it, lying to me. Still trying to she put me in child support at that time, you know. Try to hit me with the, oh, yeah. And then I get a letter in the mail, right? Because that was a part of the plan to try to keep me in stagnation and stuck, right? So it was all funs and giggles then, right? But now it's still funny because her boyfriend that she was with turns out to be the psychotic type dude, you know? Slicing tires. She had to get a restraining order against the same man that she told my daughter is gonna be a better father figure, because they was plotting to kill me. But they plot didn't work. My ex and my brother's wife plotted. Not just them. I'm gonna say my stepmother was involved in this, and definitely my brother. And they all knew about it. But they let this little diabolical lead the pack. My ex. Come on, man. I would never lose to none of these goofies, dog. Like, y'all stupid. But y'all getting exposed. So this is what it is. This is what y'all wanted. Y'all wanted my destiny, right? You can't handle what I went through. All that stuff that y'all was putting up against me, sorcery, witchcraft, I endured it. I fought it. I could fight these demons. I did it. Can y'all? And now that God's telling me that he just giving y'all a little taste of what y'all was doing to me for years, and y'all crying and screaming and hollering like punks, he just giving you a taste of what y'all wanted to accomplish over here and would never get it accomplished. It would never happen. I'm too strong for all of that. I know I got enemies on my neighbors. My neighbors, it is what it is. I could care less about them. I can care less about an enemy. What is an enemy to me? What do they do? Nothing. So at the end of the day, y'all gonna lose. And now y'all want to apologize. Y'all only want to apologize because y'all getting exposed for the evil, diabolical things that y'all been doing. And like I said, I'm not the only one. There's many others that wants justice for y'all. Like maybe my father, for instance. Did he die by natural causes? Or did y'all assist in that death? Or how about my grandmother? Did she die from natural causes? Or did y'all assist in that death? Because I believe that one death happened from your wife, and the other death probably happened from you, coward. But that's going to be revealed as well. God is here to tell the story, and this story is being revealed. So, on the other side, this is when all gloves came off, was when you, my brother, and your wife tried to take my daughter. I let her go with y'all too, to the campgrounds and put her in the room to try to tell her that I was a bad father. You know, she looked at y'all probably with disgust. Because guess what? You guys are the bad parents. You know why? Y'all don't care about y'all kids. Why can I say that? Because when you do sorcery, witchcraft, diabolical things in the spiritual realm, you stealing, God's going to punish you. He's going to punish your family when you do that to his kids. And when you know I'm his kid, he's not going to have mercy on your kids. And especially when you're going up against one of his kids' kids. You already have to know that the backfire is going to go up against your own kids. That's why your kids used to be in the hospital. I know these things now. That's why your face is deformed. That's why you can barely see in your eyes. Talking about sarcoidosis. No. It's called witchcraft, sorcery. Your spirit starts to break down. You're not human. You start to lose bits and pieces of your humanness, your heart. That's what makes you like a human. When you start indulging in sorcery, witchcraft, and jar spells, and moon magic, and blood rituals, death rituals. You're taking the essence of yourself away, and you're just being a vessel for demons. You guys are possessed. You guys are demonic now. You guys are clones. You guys are not human people. You don't understand. You don't have feelings. It all started from childhood trauma, sure, but you guys just went above and beyond. Y'all like Bonnie and Clyde. And no, I ain't have to ever tell no one about your old story, like how you used to be gun-toting, you know, smoking mad bud, and you over here telling about me smoking bud and whatever. But guess what? I don't hurt the people. God knows I used to sin. I used to sin all the time. I still sin sometimes. I'm not perfect. Never claimed to be. But I know I'm with God. I know I'm one of God's children. And if I'm one of God's children and you're coming up against me, that means you're one of the devil's seeds. And you guys will get locked up. And God, yes, he wants me to expose y'all. Because I am your judgment. I'm here to take down you. You lied to me. Couldn't even tell me that you wasn't even my own mother. But why? I know why. Because I was your golden ticket. God had favor on me. And because he had favor on me, he gave you guys favor. But y'all did wrong. That's why God moved me. I didn't know at first, you know, I thought I was just moving and stuff, until God's isolated me from y'all. Because I thought y'all was decent folk. Until God said y'all ain't his folk. Y'all don't abide by him. Y'all don't follow him. You guys are the devils. And y'all about to be exposed for paperwork. You guys married in my name. I'm already married. So my brother's wife and my ex got married in a fraudulent way. I will be suing y'all. Know that. You can't come to me for nothing. Y'all got to get this judgment regardless. Y'all can cop, plead, cry wolf to me, all of that. I was built. Y'all didn't want to tell me these things. To hurt me. Y'all can't hurt me. Y'all ain't even my family. How could you hurt me? You just like another one of these foes I got to take out. And I'm going to do it. Because I'm supposed to. I'm supposed to help the others. There's many others out there that need to isolate so they can find out, you know, like, I guarantee you, like, some of y'all probably gonna find out, like, those ain't even your peoples. Like, they stole you or something, you know what I mean? Like, you might got, like, one part is like your mother or your father, and the other one is just the diabolical, like, that ain't even your real mom, or that ain't your real dad. Like, they've been keeping these secrets, and these state workers been trying to find these chosen ones throughout. And they gonna find y'all in the paper trail. Y'all can't hide the paper trail. I'm part of the paper trail. You guys could try to supposedly get me executed, right? Y'all wanted me dead, right? But now y'all about to die because you casting freaking death spells on me. And it don't work. You're using other people in your family that don't even know the situation. You using other witches and warlocks that don't even know what they're getting into. They coming up against God. Now, some of these ones that's official witches and warlocks, some of them know. Other ones don't know, but they'll sign up for the paper and then they'll find out, yeah, you messed up. And God's going to keep on exposing these folk. You know what I mean? But I release y'all, I forgive y'all, and I thank y'all for strengthening me, because I didn't know what type of strength I had. Y'all don't know what kind of strength I have. I'm got more strength than y'all know. Y'all should have known I had some strength, especially when I was a kid and y'all was trying to take me out when I was a baby. Sad news. That's why you have to have all these people. And that destiny swapping. Are you kidding me? You must don't know how things work. Listen, that mind control, MK Ultra, all of that stuff, sure it works. But it works for the devil's kids, not for children of Christ. We don't be beat. You can't get in my mind. You can't control me. You can't swap nothing. Destiny swaps would never happen. Like, how could you be in my position to take down evil, take down witches and warlocks? And you trying to call me a witch because y'all the witches and warlocks. But y'all trying to say that you want a destiny swap with a person that can actually take down witches and warlocks when you're a witch and a warlock? Make it make sense, family. Make it make sense. You can't. You can't come up against a child of God. You guys ain't got the right hearts in your lives. You guys don't have a heart. That's why you guys will do anything by any means necessary. And guess what? Y'all been doing more scandalous things. Real scandalous things. Just as much as you said that I wouldn't be the perfect fit for my kids, I got both of my kids. And that's why, to my ex, I won in court for the custody of my child because you're diabolical. God gave me that W. And he showed my daughter who to trust and who not to trust. And you are a Jezebel. And the kid knows it. She's trying to pray for you. But you're that evil that you would even try to come after your own just as well as my brother and his wife. But that marriage ain't gonna last either. They're gonna get a divorce because what did Jesus say? I'm here to cause division. And he will divide you guys up and scatter you guys amongst like sand. And yes, my other brother, yes, my boy, you're straight karmic. You think, you a cop, but you was doing bad cop deeds, bro. Because you're your mother's seed. You know what I'm saying? You come from your mama. Just like your other brother. You two. Y'all come from your mama. Jezebel. That's not my mama. That's why I don't fit in. That's why we don't resonate. That's why y'all hate me. That's why y'all want me gone. Because we're not the same. And that's why my ancestors have been kicking y'all butts in the spirit. And Michael and Raphael and God been whooping y'all, beating y'all down for diabolical things that y'all doing. And then you got other people, these innocent folk. They would have been innocent, but when you chasing money and you guys don't even got this money, you lying to people, ain't even paying the people, they gonna come after y'all too. Trust me, because they ain't getting what y'all said they gonna get. They gonna come after y'all. They gonna want y'all because y'all over here capping, using cousins, using friends and foes to come at me, to get hurt. That's not of God. You causing destruction. You don't even let these people know that they're going to cause harm to their families because you're so freaking evil. By any means, you don't care. You just don't want to be exposed, and you will be exposed all day, every day. You guys don't even know that y'all just made the history books. Yes. And you strengthened me, and you strengthened my family. That's why y'all couldn't see my other daughter. She's a warrior, little one. Didn't even like stepmom when she came over here. She looked at you like, yeah, you one of them that was trying to come up and try to take me out. You was trying to come up in the womb. That's why I ain't tell y'all nothing. Y'all ain't gonna know nothing. But what I say out here on the airway, but I know all y'all secrets. And some of them are even more nasty than the two of you muff diving on each other. Yeah. Muffin topping. And then my brother allowed it, like, yo, bruh. Yeah, I know about your dark secrets too, fam. Both of y'all's. Don't even play. Cause y'all got no wins over here. What y'all need to do is repent. Cause God coming after y'all, dog. And like I said, when the people start to truly wake up on y'all, you worried about me? I should be the least of your worries, fam. Trust me, people coming after y'all. And when y'all hit them jail cells, because you wanted to frame me for a murder, it won't happen. I don't even bang with y'all. I don't know y'all like that. I never ran with y'all. That's why when God told me to dip set from y'all, it was easy. It was easy. I just needed to know the truth. And now that I know, it is what it is. So, to the people that's out here in the world that are going through, like I went through with, friends and family, just know that you need to isolate. If you're following your purpose, you need to isolate so you can know who's with you and who's against you. Because once you get these people out of your life, you can progress forward. Now, some of these people in your life aren't like these people. It could be more like friends and cousins and such like that, aunts and uncles. Even though I got aunts and uncles, friends and cousins of mine, but mine's is way different. Like I said, this is the peak of it, to start this, that people need to start, isolating from your supposed family. The family that you have is your wife and your kids that you bear. That's your family. Everything else outside of that, that is a relative. And you need to know that. If Cain came up against Abel, that's brother versus brother, right? You have to know that it's in your house. And sorcery and witchcraft been here since the beginning. I was supposed to be a sacrifice, just like back in like Moloch. Google that. Moloch sacrifices, Bohemian Grove. That's about, like, during Christmas, they used to sacrifice the babies so they can have great wealth and riches. This is truth. And this is what they used to try to do. This is what I'm like, the last of that portion. But it's still the same, because God is using us, and he's waking up the children of Christ, the chosen ones, to know who they are, where they came from. Some of you guys been adopted. Some of you guys thinking that's your mama and your daddy, and that's not your mom and your father. Some of you guys really believe that those are your siblings, your cousins and such, and that's not them. They are not your family. They took you. Some of you, they sacrificed others, but some of you, they took you because you got gifts, and you need to isolate yourself to find out who you are with Christ, because Christ is the only one that can help you in this situation. So that being said, I'm gonna leave this one right here. This is Church from Church's Intake. Subscribe.